Howdy, howdy. I'm just going to get straight into this one. Today I'm going to discuss the eclipse of the century. This refers to the August 2nd, 2027 total eclipse, which is called the eclipse of the century because it will feature the longest duration of totality on land in the 21st century. It will last up to 6 minutes and 23 seconds in Egypt, and this is exceptionally long. It's a rare event which offers a maximum duration not seen since 1991 and unmatched until 2114. The path of totality for this particular eclipse will bring unprecedented darkness to viewers in 2027. Now, there was a lot of talk about the April 8th, 2024 eclipse, and that was one of the final total eclipses over North America forming an X pattern that was linked to previous eclipses in 2017 and 2020, creating a palindromic calendrical pattern. The eclipse itself is not necessarily the critical event, but the significant events expected to follow it are what deserve close attention. And this eclipse initiates a series of connected events with broad implications, including potential conflicts involving Abrahamic religions, and the timing aligns with ritual dates. So 2027 is related in the sense that it fits into the larger framework of timing and field dynamics around the April 8th, 2024 eclipse and associated events. So if we go backwards, on August 21st, 2017, millions of Americans flocked to spots in a narrow corridor from Oregon to South Carolina to watch a total eclipse of the sun, hailed as the Great American Eclipse. This was the first eclipse visible in the US from coast to coast in 99 years. With 200 million people within a day's drive of the path of totality, the event was expected to be the most observed and photographed eclipse in history. Now, exactly 1,211 days after the 2017 eclipse, we land at the eclipse of December 14, 2020. And this is the same date that Joe Biden was certified as President of the United States. Also on that day, America begins its first COVID-19 vaccinations. And on this same date, Russia was revealed to have been behind massive cyber attacks on US government agencies and private companies. Exactly 1,211 days after Monday, December 14th, 2020, we come to the April 8th eclipse in 2024. Exactly 1,211 days after April 8th, 2024, is the next solar eclipse that follows this day count pattern, which will be on Monday, 2nd of August, 2027. This is being hailed as the eclipse of the century. This eclipse is anticipated to be the longest total solar eclipse of the 21st century visible from land. The path of totality will cross parts of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East, including Spain, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia. Luxor, Egypt is considered a prime viewing location because it is near the eclipse centerline and has excellent weather prospects for a clear sky. Now, following this eclipse, you can add another 1,211 days, which will bring you out to the next total solar eclipse on November 25th, 2030. You can then add another 1,211 days, which will bring you out to the next total solar eclipse on March 20th, 2034. You can then add yet another 1,211 days, which will bring you out to July 13th of 2037. So these are repeated intervals of exact day counts over many eclipses, which are very rare. And they're not part of traditional eclipse cycles found in any historic records that I could find. And this chain of 7 consecutive solar eclipses, exactly 1,211 days apart, between 2017 and 2037 is highly unusual. It's basically a 20-year arc. And so from the Great American Eclipse, on August 21st, 2017, we find perfect equal measure between these 7 total solar eclipses until the pattern breaks on December 26, 2038, when the next solar eclipse happens. And of course, there are other eclipse events in between these patterned events, such as the fast approaching August 12th total solar eclipse this year, which interestingly happens to be primarily visible across the Arctic, Greenland, Iceland, and northern Spain. And Greenland's been a hot topic of late. What we have here is 20 years of clean 1,211 day spacing. The total number of days between August 21st, 2017 to July 13, 2037 is 7,266 days, and the exact midpoint is August 2nd, 2027, which carries 9 years and 11 months and 11 days either side of that midpoint. And because the midpoint eclipse is centered over the Middle East, I personally feel that what we're going to see in 2027 is a huge conflict involving all three Abrahamic religions. 2027 reflects the year 1969 over the isometric epicenter year of 1998. And a major Abrahamic religious conflict occurred in 1969, which is known as the War of Attrition. It was fought between Egypt and its allies against Israel. It was a limited conflict initiated by Egypt to wear down Israeli forces occupying the Sinai Peninsula following the 1967 Six-Day War. The conflict included significant religious dimensions regarding control of holy sites and, in the years following, increasingly sectarian rhetoric, the use of divisive, emotionally charged language to promote one religious or communal group while denigrating others, often aimed at intensifying, exploiting, or creating conflict. It is a tool frequently employed by political elites and actors to solidify power, and to mobilize support or dehumanize rivals, particularly in places like the Middle East. And 1969 itself was a landmark year, defined by the Apollo 11 moon landing, the countercultural Woodstock Festival, and the Stonewall riots, which ignited the modern LGBTQ plus rights movement, alongside significant events like President Nixon's inauguration, the Concorde's first flight, and the deadly Charles Manson family murders. It marked both a technological triumph and a year of intense social change, from the Vietnam War protest to new cultural milestones. Jason Brashears of the YouTube channel known as Archaics found that the April 8th eclipse is linked through calendrical patterns and ritual programming to events such as the Purge franchise movies, vaccine developments, and significant dates like Purim, and elite manipulation involving field dynamics, with energy harvested during the eclipse potentially used to manufacture events against the public. And the eclipse's timing and shadow path over multiple Salems and places named Nineveh also drew attention, indicating a deeper orchestrated significance rather than coincidence. The 2017 August eclipse began in the 33rd state, Oregon, and ended in South Carolina at the 33rd parallel. And as I mentioned earlier, it's been 99 years since a total solar eclipse crossed the entire United States. Now, August 2nd, 2027 seems like a long way away. It's expected to bring thousands, if not millions, of visitors to Egypt. And the peak location will be Luxor as the primary destination. The path crosses the Valley of the Kings, Karnak, and Luxor temples, providing a dramatic backdrop. I imagine it would be a most extraordinary experience to be at the lost golden city in Luxor. I suppose I'll have to wait until 2037, until the eclipse crosses the Indian Ocean to southwest of Perth and makes contact with the Australian mainland. Maybe I could head over to Geraldton of Western Australia, or perhaps the Northern Territory. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Maybe you might be able to find some more interesting information on these alignments of these day counts, because I just found it fascinating that the spacing of time was so precise. But anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one.